Alright guys, welcome to our first how-to. Today we're going to change the oil. We have a 1998 Chevy S10. It's got the 2.2 liter 4-cylinder in it. So what we're going to do today is we are going to perform an oil change on it because this thing hasn't had the oil changed in it in a while. Okay, tools we need to complete this job. First thing, we've got standard issue creeper. Just makes it easier getting in and out from underneath the truck. You don't necessarily have to have a creeper, you can just crawl in and out of there, but it definitely makes it easier. Next thing, we have a standard 3/8 ratchet. This is for taking the bolt out of the drain pan, and I also use the wrench socket for the filter. Makes it easier getting the filter on and off. And then we have a drain pan to drain our oil into, and this is basically all you need other than your oil and filter. Okay, so before we got started here on video, I took the boring work out of it. I got the truck up on jack stands already. Very important when you jack a truck or car, whatever, up, you put something solid underneath it to hold it up. The jacks can actually fail, so you're gonna wanna put something like one of these here, a jack stand underneath it. Okay, first thing we're gonna do here is we are going to take this drain bolt out and get the oil out of here. So we'll take our wrench here, we'll put it on and twist, and that's loose. Now we'll just position our drain pan underneath here, and we'll get this out. And here it comes. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the oil filter off here. Now the oil filter is located in the front of the motor. Just in case anybody needs to know, if you get up under here, it is right up here. Here's the front pulley on the very front of the motor. There's the oil filter. Now we've got our wrench on it here. So we're just going to twist a little bit to break it loose. Then we'll take the wrench off, and now we'll just twist this off the rest of the way with our hand here. Now be careful because it'll probably leak oil. Now this has actually a little plastic piece below it, so when the oil leaks out it actually drains down right by the drain bolt, which I'm not sure if that's stock or not, but it sure is convenient because now I don't have to worry about dripping oil everywhere. And bada bing, bada boom, our filter is out. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, we're down to the last couple drops. So at this point, take your drain bolt, put it back in, and tighten her back down. Now, make sure you put the drain bolt back in, because let me tell you from experience, if you don't put the drain bolt back in when you go to put your new oil in, yeah, there's not really, it doesn't stay in there. It tends just to run right through the motor. So we're just going to put this in here and just snug it up. Don't over tighten it. It doesn't need to be 10 million foot-pounds. And we'll just take a little rag here, wipe the excess away from there, which I know is kind of a joke on this truck, but whatever. Okay, so now that's in. Next step, let's get our oil filter in. Okay, new oil filter here. Now, a little pro tip that we're gonna do. Take just a dab of the extra old oil here on your finger and lube up your O-ring on your filter. Helps it seat better, and that way you make sure that it doesn't burst or anything by accident. So just do that, just a light glazing. Like I said, it just helps it seat better on the truck. Okay, so now we're just going to reach up here and slide this oil filter in where the old one went, and then you'll just tighten it on. Now, it doesn't have to be overly tight. You can literally just hand tighten it down here. Give her a little bit of a good tug here just to make sure she's on there. But that's all you need. You don't have to get a wrench out and crank it down. All you got to do is just make sure it's on there. So now we've got oil out, old filter out, new filter in, drain bolts in. So now we're ready to put some oil in this bad boy. Okay, so last thing we gotta do, put some oil in here. So we're gonna take the cap off here. Cap is on the left side, rear of the motor. It's got your dipstick on it, so we'll pull that out. Gonna put our funnel in here. Zoom back out here so we get a little better. I have a pretty big funnel. And our last step's just put some oil in. Now I'm just using 5-quart Valvoline jug here. This truck is nothing super special, so I don't put high mileage. I don't put any full synthetic blend or anything like that. I just use the basic oil for it. It's more than good enough. These motors will go frickin' forever if you keep up to date on the stuff. So we will dump a fair amount of this in here and then check. It's always good to check occasionally and see where your oil levels are at when you're pouring it in here, because I mean the books can always say, like, it'll say, oh, use this 4.5 quarts, or oh, use this 6.5 quarts, but you don't drain all the oil out, you don't pre-fill the filter. There's lots of different variables that go into it, so just make sure you're always checking. Like I said, I'll dump a fair amount of this in, I'll let it sit for a second, I'll put the dipstick in, I'll check it, see where we're at, and then I'll dump some more in. Alright, we got a fair amount in there, so we'll take this out for a second here. Just lay it there. We will slide the dipstick in. Pull it out. Clean it off, because we didn't clean it off the first time, and then we'll put it in here. And we'll see what we get. Alright, so see, that's showing pretty darn full there. So, one last thing, we will move everything out of the engine bay here. We will start it up, let it run for a second, make sure we don't have any leaks, and then we will check the oil level one more time. Alright, ran it for a few seconds. Weren't any leaks here, so we will take this out, wipe it off, and then stick her back in here and check our oil level one more time here. Still looks good. Now I'll probably check it once more once I put it down and stuff, but other than that, good to go. And that's pretty much how you change the oil on a S10 with a 4-cylinder in it. So any questions, comment below. Other than that, thanks, and we'll see you on the next how-to video.